Todd Chrisley, big deal, he and the family, reality stars. Chrisley knows best. Lavish Southern lifestyle. He's supposedly like this no-nonsense parent. Then became all nonsense because Todd and his wife were convicted of tax evasion and fraud. The sentence is like 19 years combined in federal prison. So, turns out Chrisley believes that the conditions are inhumane. So without the permission of the prison, he gives an interview to the big man, Brian Enton of NewsNation fame. He alleged some very serious things about what's happening there. Here's a little bit.
Do you feel like you're being treated fairly by the guards and the prison staff?
No. There are recordings of staff members here talking about he needs to be humble. What we need to do is we need to put him in diesel therapy and put him in shackles and let him ride around the country for 4 months and then bring him back, and that will humble him. He thinks this is one of his mansions that he's used to living in, but this is okay.
So, what happened after he gave the interview? His daughter, Savannah Chrisley, joins us now. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Thank you, Chris, for having me.
How you doing at home with your siblings? This is a lot you got on your plate.
Yes, we grow up together. That's what I like to say. We're growing up together. Right now at the holidays, it's tough with our parents not being here, but we make the most of every day and try to stay positive.
All right, that's the way to do it for sure. Not easy, easy to say. I wish you luck with it. So what happened after your father gave the interview?
Once my father gave the interview, there was talk that they were going to try to shut down my visitation. They were going to suspend my visitation, and then they were also going to try to suspend his legal calls, which obviously is a huge Sixth Amendment violation. So that has not happened yet. But after his interview, the deputy director of the BOP notified his facility that he was coming for a visit. And that right there is the first step. I mean, the fact that he notified them, that's not okay. It allows this prison to then continue to cover up all of their messes, which in fact they did.
Have they moved him? Have they threatened him? You know, have you been able to speak to him about, you know, any messaging?
Yes, I have spoken to him, and the deputy director promised him that there would be no retaliation, so I hope that is in fact true. I do know last night one of the COs came in his dorm at about 1 o'clock, and that correctional officer reeked of alcohol, had alcohol on his breath, and is known for drinking on the job, and yanked down the towels that my dad was using to conceal his bunk. So that right there is an issue. You're putting my father in jeopardy because you have a correctional officer that has a drinking problem on the job.
What is the goal? To get an investigation done? I mean, I know you have parallel tracks here. You got how it is for him on the inside, and then, of course, fighting the case and the conviction as well. But what are you trying to do?
I think for me, I want to create lasting change. This isn't just about my parents, but before them, I didn't know any better. I wasn't subjected to any of this, and now I see it. Now I know better. And my goal at the end of this is to completely deconstruct the BOP. And we live in the United States of America, what's supposed to be the greatest nation on earth, and how we're judged how we treat our prisoners. And how we're treating them is inhumane. And I believe that under the Administrative Procedures Act, I believe it is, of 1946, there are multiple remedies that we can take in order to hold the BOP accountable.
You took some pictures when you were in there?
I did not. So there are actually people who work at the facility that have sent me and my lawyers photos and environmental reports.
What are those, ants?
They're some kind of bug, that is for sure.
And what is this?
And here is that is the expired food. That the BOP responded to my claims stating that the food was not expired. But meanwhile, Monday, they had all the prisoners moving out the expired food, so the deputy director didn't see it. And then as soon as he left, they brought all the food back in.
Not to overwhelm. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.